I have Blossom up now. Can you see it?
I see the dog.
So sometimes how do you hook the leash to her?
She has a gentle leader that I use, and then I put that on her and attach it also to her collar. It's like you do with a gentle leader.
Okay, so it's
It goes
chest
around
and
the gentle leader goes around, like her
oh, she
nose,
around
and
her
then
face. That's one
right,
of
and
those
then
around the
back up.
nose.
Right.
Okay,
Gentle leader does.
some dogs are not crazy about those. I had one that did not like it at all, and wasn't effective at all. So I switched to one that was more of the harness type, and so I had clasp here at the chest, and
Mhm.
that worked better. I'm finding
I
that some of them are hard to get the right fitting for. Um, the T-Touch halter harness is really effective because you have multiple hooks. There's one here at the chest, at least two in the back, on the back. And so to keep them in balance, because when she's pulling you and you don't have as good a control, you know, she's leaning, she's lunging, if it's being pulled back, and then around the nose, it's turning her head, and that may not feel good.
So you're saying
Um,
it's a T-touch harness? I've not heard of that.
T-Touch, and I'll put it in the chat. Oh my.
I've
Mhm.
used the this type of ones with the bigger dogs because it seems like I am
I
able to
couldn't
control
see it.
them.
It was below the so their website is ttouch.com. And again, if you want to learn about more about doing those gentle touches that I talked about for calming, you
Mhm.
want to look at some of the YouTubes on how to do that or go to their website. They have some nice webinars um, on how to do it and the benefits of it and the importance of keeping the animal, the dog, in balance. Because right when you're walking her, she doesn't feel in balance at all. She's frustrated because it's not comfortable.
Even when I you can hear me? I'm not
Uh-huh. I can hear you.
okay. Even when I will walk her and I let her, I feel like it's their walk, I'm walking them for them so that she can sniff and I've allowed her to do that. But it seems like there's some now that because for a while she did fine. And now she's starting, to do this again, like pull on the leash. And it's almost like she wants to play tug of war. And it's like, we're walking now. We're not doing that. When she was jumping up and kind of sometimes actually mouthing me, biting at me on my arms, somebody did suggest to put, a big, one of the bigger open muzzles on her so that she couldn't bite. I did that for a while and it seemed to be better. So then I didn't put that on her. And then it just seems like it's kind of a on again, off again, and I am
Okay.
wondering if it's something she's all of a sudden she's thinking about. I don't know.
It's a response. It's not that she's thinking about it, it's a reactionary thing. So
Mhm.
if it worked before, then you may need to go back. Sometimes you have to take steps back.
Yeah.
And go, and if it worked for her and you, then go back to it because she may not be able to respond on her own. Because when that fight or flight response system is triggered, it's reactionary, it's immediate. So
Yeah.
something may be triggering if it doesn't feel like play so much as I need you to come with me. It may be trying to just tell you who's in charge.
I was just gonna say, I wondered because when my husband walks her and he puts, the gentle leader on her, and he's a big tall guy, she supposedly doesn't do that with him.
Right.
And I'm wondering if maybe because she was maybe abused more by a man, she's afraid of him, and so she's not gonna react at all.
No, I don't feel like she's no, I
No.
think she loves him. So I don't feel like she's afraid of him, but there are some people like I'm very calm and quiet when I'm walking my dogs usually. It takes a lot for me to get flustered. because, and I have a big guy, I have 100 and some pound Great Pyrenees, and we just walk,
Mhm,
and he listens because I'm in charge.
mhm.
Uh, um, and he could fling me around if he wanted to, but he's he knows that I know what I'm doing, I guess, or not so much that. It's just that I've taken a lot of classes and know how to be grounded, and I train myself to interrupt the behavior before it gets started. So that's part of it too, is by the time you're trying to correct it, it's already been happening. It's already long gone. And so some of it is that leash is a two-way communication device. So you may be able to listen with your hand on the lead, because that lead is going to feel tense.
Okay.
What if it's going in a different direction than where you're headed? It's going to want to pull, or maybe it'll go too slack because she's turning around and coming at you. But you want to listen to that leash, or you can watch your feet, because that'll also tell you where she's going to head. And if
Well,
you
and
can,
but she usually walks behind me too, which is kind of strange, I think. Usually the dog wants to be out in the front, you know?
I have one that likes to walk behind me.
Yeah.
She's a rescue as well.
She has taken 2 different sets of classes and, we went through like basic, obedience kind of things. I'm thinking, do I need to go back to that again and just, re
Yeah, because there's something, again, I'll clear some of the trapped emotions, but it's that retraining of the behavior you want.
okay. Okay.
And sometimes we get it, oh, she's got it, we're doing it, and then, oh, we had a backslide, oh, it was just one time, and we do maybe have a couple good walks, and then we backslide, and then we have one walk and we backslide, and we backslide, and we backslide, and we get back into the old habit. I mean, how many of us have habits and we try and modify, and we do okay for a few weeks, a month or 2 months, and,
Yeah.
oh, one time I'll be fine, just if I'm just gonna be the old habit because I don't want to think about it. And pretty soon you're back in the old habit. And so, yes, we need to modify, go back to square one. Sometimes we have to go back to square one. That was a theme today, taking one of my guys to training, and one of the other students intending is actually getting certified in dog training, and her dog had a traumatic experience, and she said it was back to square one with multiple issues
Yeah.
because of that
Okay.
one experience. So
I'll
yeah,
go back
we
to
quite
school.
often have to go back, and it's not that anybody did anything wrong. You just have to go back and refresh, but you can usually get them back on track because they already learned it once, and then they go, oh yeah, this is how we're supposed to do it.
Okay. Yeah, her only other thing, and I always tell people that when I am walking her, if somebody's coming, I'll say, please don't look at her face because that's what she seems to react to also. She'll bark and bark, she'll just jump and go,
Oh,
"Rah,
well,
rah,
that's
rah."
good, you know it. So then the thing then to also learn with her is to redirect. So one of the things I like to train my guys to do is to have really good eye contact with me.
Mhm.
Because if they're looking at me, they're not looking at the other, whatever else is coming at us. And so I
Okay.
put it on a command called watch me.
Right.
And how do I train it is I have the little goodie. If they're food motivated, I have my goodie up in my hand and I bring my finger up to my nose. But they're really
Okay.
watching the treat, right? But
Right.
here's
Watching. Yeah,
the
she does. She will watch me.
body language, and they will read body language. Dogs, animals read body language much faster, of course, than we do. But that's how they communicate with everything. So if we use body language, hand signals, they're more likely to hear it and respond to it than our verbal commands, especially if they're triggered. So a good hand signal for something that is a reactionary behavior is really good to have. So I do the watch me. I get them to look at me. And then I will do have another one. So if they're looking away from me, they're not seeing my finger. So that's when I use the watch me.
Yeah, and
But it
she will
gives
respond to
them,
me.
I want them to have contact. I want them to check in with me.
Okay.
Even when there isn't something going on, I want them to look, am I doing it right? Is this where we're headed? it I reward like crazy, and it's not always goodies. Once I teach the behavior, then it's random when they get a goodie. The another way of another goodie is just praise, going, yes, good job. That's exactly what good eye contact, good watch me, good watch me. So get that really solid, and you wouldn't believe how effective that is in interrupting, because what we want it to do is have a behavior that it will interrupt and stop the fear-based response.
Okay.
And guess what? If they not staring at the animal that's just looked at her, and she, oh, watch me, you just interrupted it, and then you can redirect her body sideways or turn around the other way. That's really effective. I do that all the time.
Okay.
I turn around, go the other way if there's something I don't want her to, another dog I don't want him to have an interaction with.
Okay. Thank you.
Work the work
Thank you.
that one. Yeah. But let me clear a little. I'm gonna clear up some of the abandonment and anxiety. She was carrying it in her mid back. So I just released that for her. All right. Let's see, who do we have next? Thank you, Jan. Glad we got you up and running there. Zorro. Where's a picture of Zorro? Here we go. It's so cute. We go from really big to it's a peanut. Okay. What's going on with Zorro?
So, like I said, there's really not a whole lot going on with him, which is good. I just wanted to check in with him. So he turned 18. This was a picture on tax day on April 15th, his birthday. So he turned 18. I had gotten him some little treats and stuff, and I had found, I just noticed it maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. His right ear had got like a yeast infection,
Mm.
which his dad had chronic yeast infection, and he's also been itching a lot and chewing on his back, his hind paw on his left side. So that's some of the supplements that I've been trying to give him, is to address the itchiness that he has. I don't know if there's something else going on with him. Been putting stuff on his paws to stop the biting his feet. And I gave him a bath the other day, put a little bit of Epsom salt, and then used some oatmeal shampoo for dogs. And he didn't try to get out or anything. He seemed to like really like it. I think it was like soothing for his skin. He just sat, just soaked in the water. Um, so I think that helped his skin. But yeah, just kind of checking in with him. I know I've always kind of reached out when it's like a chronic thing with my dogs and stuff, and you've helped a lot with Zorro and his brother, that I did have to make the decision to put down a few months back. But yeah, just checking in with him, seeing if he has anything to say. I massage him a lot. Seems like his lower back is pretty tight a lot. He seems to like that. So just anything that you can.
So one of the things that first I heard in my head um, was I don't know if you have him on probiotics,
Yeah.
gut enzymes,
That,
because it feels like an allergy kind of a
and that's the one that I
response.
just bought. The little jar in the picture, that's the probiotics that I just got
Excellent,
for him, that he's
excellent.
been on since the 15th.
Yeah, so animals that have a little bit lower immune system are prone to some of the allergies, and it is, pollen season, spring, all the different stuff out there. And so it's not uncommon that our pets can get allergies like we do. And the skin is the largest organ in the body, so it comes out in itches, and it's wanting to push whatever toxins they're getting out through the skin. Um, and so if we can build up the immune system, it's a little bit slower process, but we want to have them, especially older pets that, well, any of them, but sometimes it's harder for them to maintain a healthier immune system so they can be more sensitive to these things that maybe they didn't have, or, they build up, they may have done fine for years, and now all of a sudden the same type of pollens drive them crazy. I know I'm more allergic than I used to be. So, so we might, mm, mm, that, that can be a benefit. Um, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna boost his first chakra. So, and you can do, how to do, like Reiki and stuff too?
Yeah.
So work on that base of the tail, that's the root chakra, and all of a sudden I just got so itchy. So I tapped into him, because I'm itching like crazy. So that can really, if you got itches, it's like miserable time. So that can create a negative feedback loop with the anxiety and all that. Mhm. So I assume you're having to administer some ear stuff for the
Yes.
yeast infection. Do some of those
Uh-huh.
teeth touches in the ears as you're doing that, because again, you're hitting
Okay.
all the acupressure points, and might be a little painful in the one ear that is more ouchy, but it can still help ease that discomfort and get the blood flowing. And like I'm itching my bottom of my hands and feet right now. See what we can do to calm that down. Oh, um, do you have a doggy chiropractor?
I don't. I've never
Okay.
researched for one.
Because sometimes adjusting their energy is or acupuncture can help, but that's just trying to clear his whole system there. The first chakra, boosting that one, and the digestive area, balancing that. So, okay. This is where it's a little tricky because the T-touches and the petting both can actually make him a little more itchy. It feels good in the moment. It's like itching a mosquito bite. It feels so good in the moment, but then as soon as it stops, it itches worse. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
where we're kind of in that uncomfortable phase for him. So I would encourage, do this. Take your hands. Here's a quick, fast way of
Mm-hmm.
doing energy work. Rub your hands really fast together, and you'll
Uh-huh.
feel some of the energy flowing and above his body. Instead of touching him, be about 6
Mm-hmm.
inches above, and you can start sending energy at all the different chakra points, or just in general. You may feel where your hands will be really sensitive, and it might, as you go slowly from head to tail, you may feel a part that just feels like there's resistance, and just kind of picture pushing it away. And from head to tail, gentle white light, gentle peace and calm as you go from head to tail. And if he walks away, no problem. Chances are he'll walk away and I'll come back and say, oh, do that again. He'll look at you. If you rub your hands together really fast and hold them out to him, they'll sniff. If you're not with him, even, you can do that because you can picture it and just picture it going from
Mm-hmm.
head to tail. But I think in his case, if you do it right on his body, it might make him itchier.
Okay.
So try that, some of the hands-off energy work, and see if that doesn't help calm things down. And you can even
Okay.
do the ear. If his ears are really tender after you administer the meds, you can do it on your ears and send it to him. So do
Oh,
the T
okay.
touches and energy work in your ears, but picture it going into his.
Oh, okay.
It works. I
Yeah.
play with my alpacas that way sometimes because they don't like to get touched, and I'm just gonna, give them nice energy. And I do my ears, picture it on theirs, and their ears start flicking away. Like, what are you doing? They love it. It's not a negative. They go, oh, that good. So.
Okay, I'll
so
try that.
yeah, some little tips on how to help him, but I cleared some of it, so hopefully that'll help him keep that energy flowing. But you definitely want to keep it flowing, especially for older guys, because
Right.
when you're uncomfortable like that, it just jams up, and then the body hurts, and then being kind of OCD about getting back to the hind legs, their back gets out of whack, so it
Yeah.
cascades.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, Marianne, let me go to my email real fast because you sent the picture. I didn't get it. Hang on. Let's see. There it is. Ah, no, heck, where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it. Let's see if I can share the screen so you can see Kiki. So, Marianne, do you want to go into the story of Kiki, or you just want me to synopsis?
I can just share that, this is my brother's dog. And, she ran out of the house, 3 weeks ago. And out of my niece's house and, went into a forest preserve. And they went to all long lengths of people trying to find her. And posters and volunteers and, just a week ago, she went to run across the busy street and she was hit by a car. And, my brother was devastated, needless to say, but he felt so bad because he couldn't be with her, when she passed, and he's never had a dog that he wasn't with when they died. And what he wants her to know, number one, how much they all loved her, but he had other dogs and he just kind of wants her to know to reach out to find, his other dogs, that she's not alone. I know that she's not alone where she's at, but he had like, two boxers and, another husky and, and a few other boxers that, he wants her to find.
Was she alive with any of them that had crossed? Before they had crossed?
No,
That's, so they were already on the other
Right.
side?
right.
Okay, let me tap into Kiki. And I did tap into her when you reached out to me and told me that she passed. And she did make it to the light, but let's see what else she may have to say. She'll connect. Okay, so she's showing me more of being very happy right now. I would say before she was still kind of in a stunned state. And sometimes when they have an accident like that, something is very fast, it takes them a while to realize that they're in the light. Um, and then they're just not sure what to do. So now she knows that she's totally there, and she's showing me running, and the fear is completely gone. And that was part of her issue in being found, was that she was in that fear state completely, and so we just couldn't get her out of it enough to trust, because she heard people and knew people were around trying to find her, but she was so afraid. So, and her fear response is run. And that
And
was
she was
counter to what we needed her to do, and she just couldn't ride that, sadly, that response. And that's where that fear response is so hard, is if they run, and if they're a bolter, then anytime they're afraid, that's the response. So she heard people calling her name and trying to get to her, but she just got afraid and would run. Even voices that she kind of knew. I think she heard your brother's daughter a number of times, but she was too afraid. So she would run and hide. But she's not afraid anymore. That's gone. Yeah. Um, so that feels much better than those last few weeks when she was in that fierce state. Um, so you wanted to find somebody.
Yeah, there's, he's got his boxers, which are Sydney and Sidbad, Cinder and Asher, and Ember.
Okay. Um, is there a person that has crossed that she may know? Because I'm kind of seeing a human form.
Well, she doesn't know him. My son has passed. She never knew him. But, he actually was hit by a car with a dog. That's how they both died. And so,
Okay, well, he's connected, so that could, I'm not a great human medium, I I have to admit that, but I'm
oh, this is,
seeing a shape, and I would say it is more male form than female form. Um, so, but that's who she is with right at the moment. I feel like she's with somebody that is definitely connected to you all. Um, but I'll communicate to her too that there's other animals in the family that have crossed that she can connect with as well. Was she more a people dog than although you said she played a lot with um
he
uh
actually was a breeder dog. She was, they got her from the breeder. She actually was you know, the mom
so the mom a lot of them?
to a lot of them. And then when they were done breeding her is when, my brother got her, because I guess there comes a point in time when they won't breed the dogs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually was a very, very quiet dog. She was not a very openly friendly dog to when people would come in. She
Okay.
kind of kept to herself.
Yeah. She had the ones that she liked, that's for sure. I think she kind of developed she's kind of showing me this aloofness because she had all these puppies and then they'd be taken away.
Mm,
So she kind of had that, uh, oh, she had a protection around her heart,
mhm.
but she definitely, again, I just see a humanoid kind of a form that she's hanging with right now. And she's happy. She's very happy. She's very playful right now. She's running and playing in circles, showing me in circles. But I will tell her that there's others waiting on the other side that she can connect with.
Right, yeah, that she doesn't need to be by herself.
Yeah, no, you can tell your brother that she's very at peace and happy. She checks in on him. She says she is checking in on him.
That's good for him to know that she, she's still with him.
Yeah. And
That,
she feels she's kind of saying sorry that she feels like she disappointed him in mm, getting lost, that she failed. So I'm gonna let her know that, oh, it's okay. That was not her fault. But she also knew for some reason it was her time. So they we what I had my experience with animals that cross, especially ones that cross suddenly like that, or it doesn't matter. It can be at any time. But they have a contract like with us. And it's for a limited time. We know when we get into, when we invite these animals into our lives, we pretty much know that chances are we're gonna outlive them. And so we know we're gonna have our heart broken, but we still open our heart to them.
Mhm.
And, but that contract that they come in with is for a certain, whatever period it is, it's because they have a job, and especially for huskies, but most dogs especially, they feel like they have a job, and that job is to be a part of our lives for whatever thing we're going through or whatever phase of life we're in. And so they're partnered with us to support us through that phase. And when that phase is coming to an end, they need to go. And so when they leave us, it can be for different reasons, or how it happens can be very different. But some just go, okay, I need to have it happen very fast, and an accident happens. For others, we might have a slower, longer caregiving mode, but they tend to know that, okay, my time is done. I need to step out because the person needs to go do something that I can't participate in that next phase, and they step out. And so that has been so consistent uh in my experience, that they have a certain, and I've had this with other clients, where the dog had a sudden accident is because they had to get out of this life in order to go into the next one because they have another job already.
Mhm.
I don't feel like she's there yet, that she's gone into another carnation yet, but um and some of them know that they have another job, some don't. She does. She does know. What is your next life gonna be? Do you know who you're assigned to yet? Yes. So she's supposed to go in with somebody that has some children, I think. And so she needed to leave this life in order to go be a member of a family with some younger children, or a child of some sort that really needs her protection and oversight. So that's what she's telling me. But I feel like she's saying kid, there's something with a child that she has to go participate in. So she had to leave
Mhm.
this life in order to get ready for the next one. I don't know how, time doesn't mean anything on that other side,
Yeah.
so I don't know if it's right away or
Right.
down the road, but she did have to slip out in order, probably soon, because she slipped out so fast.
Okay.
So, yeah, she's showing me that. So
Well,
she's
thank
getting
you.
ready. It's rare that they come back to us. That's
Yeah.
almost all of them. I go, can you please come back to me?
Yeah,
And
isn't
it's
that sad?
no.
That's
One of
sad.
my dogs, one of my Australian Shepherds, was my father's dog.
Oh, wow.
It was fascinating. He looked just like my dad's dog growing up.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I asked him if he was my previous dog, and he said no. And then he said, but I was your dad's. I went,
Oh,
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 and I found a
nice.
picture of my dad's dog when he was a kid. And sure enough, man, they were identical twins.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, nice.
And it made sense that he would have been in my life at that time, of that phase of my life,
Mm.
that I would want my dad's
Mm.
energy and his dog with me.
Oh, Eric, that's so wonderful.
So they come in, and you never know who's going to come in.
Well, thank you very much for that. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. So we're at the top of the hour. Sonia, I know you sent me a picture of Georgia. Georgia seems to be eating dirt. I think he's getting the runs. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. So you might also try the probiotics, to look up some probiotics for cats, because she's wrote that Georgia seems to be eating dirt, and I think and is getting the runs. She was eating the cat poop, and I minimize that. I give her B complex thinking it would help. Yeah, sometimes when they eat the poop, they're missing some minerals. So you might look at not only the gut enzymes, but maybe some sort of talk to your vet and see what might be good as a mineral supplement. Sometimes they've just put in a Pedialyte or something in their water, although sometimes cats can get fussy about stuff like that. But I have a mineral drink that I take and I just give it to them, give it to my animals when they get off like that. But it's quite often that there's a mineral, something off mineral. But definitely you want a probiotic, that will help. And let me see if I can clear some overwhelm. And frustration. Clear that. And I would do the T-touches too if Georgia will let you do the ears. Get the system back in balance. Try that. Well, thank you everybody for coming on. Sorry for some of the technology issues that we had. And we'll keep trying. Let's see. Jan just sent me a note. Let me read it before I sign off here. Oh, okay. Yeah, you just asking what Blossom. It was some overwhelm that I cleared for Blossom, and there was some abandonment that I cleared and frustration. So very similar emotions today, which is typical. Always a theme. Well, thank you all for coming on tonight. So again, you might want to look at next Wednesday is a class on totem animals, so you can learn about your spirit guides that are animals. And then the 13th is an animal communication class. You might be interested in that. And then after that, I have a healing circle, so you might be interested in that. So lots of things. Go to my website, yourenergyhealer.com, and you can see all the events that I have. I've been writing some blogs. You might get some notes off of that. That might be of interest to you. And so lots of things are happening and going on. I also, for those, if anybody's in Oregon and would like to come to Oregon, I'm looking at scheduling an in-person animal communication class this summer. So keep an eye out for that. And you can always make it a destination if you live a ways away. Oregon is a beautiful place to come visit and lots of things to do. And then you can hang out with some lovely alpacas and learn how to communicate and commune with them. Very peaceful. It's like going to a spa. Hanging out with alpacas, you may be giving them energy, but you receive it tenfold. So it's almost like getting a nice spa day. Any other questions before we sign off? I'm gonna stop the recording. I think.